Well, just like I got into veganism for reasons of vanity, I really started excelling as an athlete because of my insecurity. I started the Running Raw
Mm-hmm.
project. I had some great results right out of the gate. But then things started to fall apart because I was training too much. Like you said, in 6 weeks, I was running 20 miles in the mountains here in
Mm-hmm.
LA. And my knees didn't like that
Mm-hmm.
because you need to adapt very slowly. My muscles could take it, my heart could take it, my lungs could take it. They were evolving incredibly fast, but my connective tissue and bones take longer.
Mm.
So lots of injuries started showing up. I didn't really know what I was
Mm.
doing with the training. I didn't have a coach. I was just running. I'd just go out into the hills and run for a couple hours. And I fell on my face a lot, and I was embarrassed. And I went to some big races, and I told all my friends in LA. I had a huge following. The Running Raw project was huge when I first started because I told everybody I'm going to go to the Olympics at 40 as a raw vegan.
Yes, yes.
And YouTube didn't exist yet, and none of the social media that we have now existed at that time. So it was me just getting out there, pounding the pavement, telling everybody I could, going to all the vegan restaurants, all the raw restaurants, letting people know
Oh,
what I was doing.
wow.
And they're like, yes, a vegan in the Olympics, a raw vegan in the Olympics? Yes. So there was this huge following, and I invited them all to a couple really big races. And I bombed. I tanked.
Ooh.
And that was a really hard pill to swallow. And people are like, oh, he's not as good as he says he is. He's delusional. Okay, buddy.
You
Yeah,
caught me off guard on that one. I was ready to, and they saw me.
yeah, no, they didn't. They saw me,
Yeah.
struggling and failing.
Mm.
And then I moved back to Vermont. I kind of gave up on LA. I had a lot of tough times, and that was part of it. I felt like a failure. I felt like uh, somebody needs to represent this diet.
Yeah.
Somebody needs to do it, and I blew it.
You were taking the midnight train back to Georgia.
Yeah, I blew it.
Okay.
So I took my tail between my legs. I went back to Vermont,
Yeah.
and I just started spending most of my time alone, running in the mountains, in the woods, in the snow, because I was ashamed and because I was
Mm.
insecure, and I would get outside just because I hated my life so much at that point that I needed to get out of the house, just go. And I'd go into the woods and I would run and I would listen to books and I would listen to lectures, and they would like keep me company as I was out there. And through that process, I learned how to face my pain. I learned how to face my insecurity. I learned how to face my shame in the mountains and learned how to embrace it and use it as a tool. And that, at the time, it seemed like it was the worst choice that I could have possibly made, to leave
Yeah.
LA and to give it up and to quit the whole project. But now I see it as the best possible choice because it was the University of Adversity.
Nice. University of Adversity. Woo, I love that one. That's a good one.
Yeah, and that's exactly what it is. We don't grow when
Yes.
everything is good.
Yes.
We grow when things are challenging.
Mm-hmm.
Like in the media, we hear a lot about post-traumatic stress disorder. You read about it all the time. It's on television. Veterans coming back from Iraq and Afghanistan or Vietnam previously. But what you don't hear psychologists talking a lot about is post-traumatic growth, which is also a real phenomenon.
Wow.
And we all know this. Something traumatic happens to us. Not everybody,
Mm-hmm.
but to a certain percentage of us, something traumatic happens, and what do? We change our life. It
Mm-hmm.
wakes us up.
Mm-hmm.
So some people go into post-traumatic stress. Some people go into post-traumatic growth. And I initially was going into post-traumatic stress. And in the woods, in those mountains, I found peace. It was like a monk going off into the cave to
Yeah.
meditate, on the top of the mountain for 10 years.
Yeah.
Well, I basically disappeared into the wilderness of Vermont for 7 years
Epic.
and found myself and learned to embrace all the things that scare me, learned to embrace my fear and my insecurity, and I now use it as a tool to inform me. It's just
Nice.
they're signals. Emotions are nothing other than signals from your environment trying to tell you about things that are going on around you.
Yes.
And now I listen to them, I check in with them, I say thank you for sharing, and then I
Yep.
keep doing what I'm doing. I don't let them derail me anymore.
Yes. So it's like the adversity is is on a physical level would be like you're doing this, you're causing your muscles to have adversity. Every time you run,
Yeah.
it's causing them to have a struggle, to have a thing, they break down, and then it rests, and then they get bigger. They grow from it,
Yeah.
and you improve your time, you improve your strength, or whatever.
Human beings are mechanisms of resistance.
Nice.
Without resistance, we wither and die.
Mm.
See, people have a
Mm-hmm.
kind of a misconcept of ease. Like everybody wants an easy life,
Mhm.
but I don't think they understand the definition of ease or comfort
Mm-hmm.
because they think that ease is doing nothing.
Mhm.
Okay, I'm sitting in a chair watching TV, I'm comfortable,
Uh-huh.
and life is easy.
Yep.
Wrong.
Uh-huh.
Comfort means with strength.
Mm-hmm.
In Latin, comfortus, with strength.
Yep.
Ease is not about doing nothing. It's about doing challenging things and not even noticing that you're doing them.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you do nothing long enough, what shows up? Dis-ease.
Ah.
So
Yes.
ease is not about taking away
Yeah.
all the obstacles.
Yes.
That's not what an easy life is. An easy life is, here comes the obstacle, so what? Oh, there's a mountain coming at me, I'll just run over it.
Uh-huh.
Oh, there's 100 flights of stairs, I'll just run up them.
Yeah.
Oh, there's, a challenging relationship issue, okay, I'll deal with it.
Yes.
Oh, there's a problem at work, I will face it.
Yes.
And it's not going to bother me, it's not going to derail me. That's
Yes.
what ease is. Comfort is being calm under pressure because, well, there actually isn't any pressure because you've built strength in yourself
Mhm.
by challenging yourself
Mhm.
so that when another challenge shows up, it's no longer really a challenge. It's just
Right.
another day.
It's just it's all perception, isn't it?
Yeah, come forth with strength. And no matter what shows up at me, I will deal with it with strength.
Yes.
And I will have ease as I run up that mountain. And people, I tell them I run up, the tallest buildings in the world, and they say, oh my God, I could never do that. Sure you could. You start one step at a time,
Yes.
and over time, you will build stronger and stronger and stronger.
Yes.
And you will have comfort. You will have strength in you, so those stairs don't really feel hard anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, in a race, they hurt
Yes.
because, it doesn't matter if you're first place or last place.
Yes.
You're still running as hard as you can.
Yes.
So you're both equally hurting.
Yes.
But the people in the front have learned how to deal with that pain.
Right.
We don't judge the pain.
Right.
We embrace the pain, we observe the pain,
Yeah.
we notice the pain, but
Yeah.
we don't label it as bad.
Right.
And that's another part of comfort and ease.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's always going to be obstacles.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Mm-hmm.
the Buddha, people misinterpret Buddha's teachings. They think that nirvana is when there are no more obstacles in your life.
Hmm.
No. Nirvana is when the obstacles no longer bother you.
Totally.
The
There's-
obstacles
bam.
are still there, but
Yes.
they no longer bother
That's
you.
right.